guys, today I thought I would sit down with you in my kitchen and talk about some of my favorite cookbooks, the ones I use all the time. I've also got some honorable mentions, and yeah, I think that you'll be surprised at how few cookbooks I actually use in my own kitchen. And I would love it if you would comment and tell me which cookbooks that you guys use the most so that I can check those out too. Okay, so the one we are starting with is going to be no surprise to anyone who knows me and my site fairly well, but that is my own cookbook, Little House Living. I published this one back in 2015, and although it doesn't have a ton of like recipes in it, it has most of my mix recipes, especially some of our very favorite ones like our pancake mix and some of the seasoning mixes that we use all the time. It's got our favorite sugar cookie mix recipe. So if you need mixes, or if you need to know how to make all your own everything from shampoo to sidewalk chalk, I have that in my book. I do use this all the time. I actually don't use this copy. I have a proof that I got when I was first getting ready to publish this and when I was going through the editing, and I use that so much that is completely falling apart. So I grabbed a regular copy for this video. I'm not sure if you can probably still get the hardcover used, but they did stop making that and now they just make a soft cover. But still, obviously I recommend you have this in your pantry Obviously, I recommend that you have this book on your shelf because I use it all the time. And so if you like me and you like my recipes, you will probably like my cookbook as well. Going along with that, probably my 100% most used cookbook that's not a cookbook is actually my website. I'm constantly on my own website pulling up my recipes and printing them out again. Because I print them out and then I lose them. I would love to publish those recipes in an actual paper book someday. At the moment, we just don't quite have the capital to be able to do self-publishing, but I have over 400 recipes on my website. And so definitely take a look there if you haven't before. But for me, that is what I use the most often by far out of any of the books that I'm going to show you today. Okay. Moving on, I'm going to show you the next two because they kind of go together. So both of these are not actual cookbooks. These are, I think I found this little book in a thrift store, and I use it to write down recipes that we make all the time. I don't necessarily have them on my website, but they're still things that we make. And I really like the style of this one. I also have a ton of recipes that I wrote down in here. A lot of these are recipes that I got from my mom or from my grandma, and I just have those written down like in this format. I'd like to move these into this book because this one's a little bit nicer. But again, these are kind of just our most frequently used recipes. Okay, again, same thing, different format. This is my recipe binder. I have a really nice big one. And if you want to put together one of these, I actually have a link to all these printables, and I can put that in the description below. But this is kind of where I separate things out and have even more stuff written down that we make frequently. So those three, I really need to work on combining these all into one book. And I see my recipe binders cover is broken, so probably need to get a new one of those. But these are what I use the most besides my website, because this is the stuff we make over and over and over again. Okay, so the one cookbook that I use all the time and is not mine is this one. And I'll have to show you the spine because I ripped the dust jacket and had to throw it away. And actually this book has been used so much, the binding is falling off, and I'm going to need to try to get that fixed. But this book, and if you couldn't see it, it's called Mennonite Country Style Recipes and Kitchen Secrets. I'm not really sure how my mom first discovered this book, but I have had this book since I was in my teens. This is the first cookbook that I ever had, and I actually put it in my hope chest when I was growing up. But I used it all the time too, because there is notes in here written in my preteen and teen handwriting of all of the recipes that I liked. And I also followed the same format that my grandma did, and I would write, I'm trying to find one, I'd write on some of the recipes, you know, if I liked it, I would write that it was very good. So it's got a bunch of notes in there and a lot of things bookmarked that I want to make at some point. But this is a good cookbook for pretty much all your basics, kind of like a lot of cookbooks in the Mennonite Amish style. There is a lot of desserts in here, so there's that. But this one, unlike a lot of those books, does have a lot of other things, a lot of baked goods, breads, and stuff like that. So I use this a lot for a lot of different things. And like I said, the binding is falling apart, and this back part, the index actually has completely fallen out now. So I need to get that fixed. I think that you can still buy this book, and if so, I will link that in the description. But this is my most used cookbook besides my own recipes. And then these last two in my most used kind of go together. And I don't know if you'd consider them a cookbook. I consider them a cookbook, but it is the Ball Blue Book and Putting Food By. And I use these all the time. You can tell I have tons of bookmarks in them, and my poor Ball Blue Book has seen better days. It is in really rough shape, and I probably need to get this replaced. But these are my go-tos when canning, and I do can a lot of stuff. Last year I canned about 400 to 500 jars. On a typical year, I will can about 800 jars. I will probably do even more than that now that we're living off-grid and I need that shelf-stable stuff. But these books are always my go-to. I do have a couple of other canning books. I don't use them nearly as much as I use these two. These just have all the basics in them of time and temperature. Anything that I would need, I've got them in here. Okay, so those cookbooks are my top books. Let me put them in a stack here. I'm not going to grab the binder, but so these are my top books. I use them all the time on a daily basis for at least one of them in my kitchen. So I got my canning ones, my own cookbook, the Mennonite cookbook, and then just recipes from my site and from all of my little notebooks that I have around here. By far, the stuff that I use out of these goes beyond any of the other cookbooks. And I have quite a few other cookbooks. I've got a shelf actually up here, and I've got some over there, because sometimes it's nice to find something new, some inspiration. And I have a lot of new cookbooks that I'm just trying out right now. So they may make it to a top cookbook later, but these are my tried and true cookbooks that I use all the time. Okay, so we're going to move to the stack that is the honorable mentions, just because I feel like there should be some more cookbooks in this roundup that aren't mine. So this one, the Fanny Farmer cookbook, I've made quite a bit out of here. I always go to it thinking that it's going to have a recipe, and it doesn't. There's a lot in here. I would say that it's somewhat comparable to the Mennonite cookbook, but since this cookbook is older, some of the stuff in it is things that we wouldn't necessarily make or eat, or doesn't fit our like more modern palate anymore. But then on the other side, that can be a good thing. There's a lot of stuff in here that's very basic, very good, and can be used a lot. Again, like the Mennonite cookbook, there's lots of desserts, there's lots of baking stuff. I don't love, or I don't even know if I've used most of the main dish recipes in here, because it's just not quite our style. But there is a lot of stuff in here. This is a really big cookbook. So there is a lot of information in here, and it's definitely worth having on your shelf if you can find a used copy. They might still sell this. This copy is obviously very old, but this is a good just reference to have on hand for sure. All right, this one is a more recent acquisition I have, so it could definitely make its way into one of my more top ones, but it's called Better Than Store-Bought. It's, I think, from the 70s. I picked it up on Thrift Books, but there is a lot of really good stuff in here. Really good things that you might buy at the store that you can make at home. I will say that a lot of it is things that you could buy at the store in the 70s that you could make at home. So not all necessarily things that we still have. But that's not to say that it's not good. I have made several recipes out of here, and I do really enjoy this book. We've liked what we've made so far. I did find that a couple of the recipes had a few more steps than was necessary. But other than that, if you can find a used copy of this one, I think that it's probably worth having because there's a lot of gems in here that I haven't even gone through yet, but I think that it's going to be good once I make more out of it. Okay, this is a cookbook that I have had in my kitchen for quite a while. It's called The Healing Kitchen, and it's actually an autoimmune protocol cookbook. I have several of those, but this one I have used the most, and I don't normally like diet stuff like this, but since I personally cannot have any dairy or grain, the recipes in here have been really helpful for me. So if you are looking for something that is more allergy friendly and along those lines, this cookbook is really good. I've used a lot of the recipes in here for many years, and I've been able to adapt them to things that my family will enjoy eating as well, not just me. And so I would recommend this book. I've used quite a bit out of here, but this one I recommend if you have more severe allergies. Okay, so I wanted to put this one in the honorable mention pile because I use it, but it is definitely not my favorite canning book when compared to the Ball Blue Book and Putting Food By. So that is the Ball Complete Book of Home Preserving. I also have the new Ball book, which is similar to this, but I have not loved the recipes out of that one. This one I have used several times. It has more extensive canning recipes than the Ball Blue Book, which is mostly basics. And really the only reason that this made it into my honorable mentions pile is just because I haven't used it as much as I use that one. I use the Ball Blue Book all the time just for canning times and pressure and all that kind of stuff. And this one I just haven't used as much, but I do use it quite often. Okay, the kitty decided that he needed to have a feature in this video as well. He kept on sticking his tail in the camera, so he's going to hang out here. So the last book on my honorable mention list is actually a newer one to me, but I've been using it quite often. And so I wanted to mention it here and recommend it in case you are a sourdough baker as well. And that is the Homestead Sourdough Cookbook. I looked at several sourdough cookbooks. They were very expensive, probably because sourdough is so trendy right now. This one was on the lower end, so I thought, why not? I will give it a try. And I've actually made a whole bunch of recipes out of this cookbook, and I really like it. Everything has turned out really well. I'm good at making really basic sourdough and making my bread and, you know, putting some additions in the bread and stuff. But when it comes to things like pretzels, bagels, and stuff like that, I've been making them out of this cookbook. And like I said, we've liked everything that we've made so far. So this book is starting to be one of my more used cookbooks. And like I said, it's not as expensive as some of the other sourdough cookbooks out there that are a little more trendy. And actually I got this one used on Thrift Books. So this one I recommend if you are into making sourdough. All right, let me grab my honorable mention pile here. So these are the books that I make things out of fairly often, but just not as often as my top 5 cookbooks over there, but worth getting if you're looking for something new. So I do have a lot of other cookbooks on my shelf. Like I said, I've got several shelves over here and some on this side of my kitchen. But today I just wanted to share with you what I use the most and what I actually find the most useful. I see a lot of recommendations out there for cookbooks all the time, but a lot of times they have stuff that we don't keep in our pantry, or stuff that would just be very expensive. And my cookbooks are obviously used the most frequently because it's stuff that I can make from my pantry. I can make it inexpensively, and yeah, those are my favorites. So I hope this video was helpful for you. I would love to know what your favorite cookbooks are, because I always need to add more to my collection, and see if there's some out there that I am missing. And yeah, and let me know if you have any of my top recommendations in your kitchen. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. I appreciate that you took the time to watch it today, and I hope that you'll join me again.